How's it going, guys, and welcome to the Foot and Fist Sports Network. And how the fuck are United drawing nothing? I can't even talk right now, I'm so pissed. 0-0 with Burnley at home after having, 20 corners, about 20 shots on goal. There was, 25 shots after about 60 minutes had been taken. I mean, how the fuck are we finishing 0-0 with those kind of stats? How the fuck? Okay, fine. Tom Heaton, the ex-Man United player, had an amazing game. Alright, that's fine. But there should only be so much a keeper can do. When you have Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Wayne Rooney, Marcus Rashford, who is young but still has been showing how good he is lately. When you have Anthony Martial on the bench, I think maybe he was injured, I don't know. When you have Mkhitaryan on the bench, how the fuck, with these kind of players, are you allowing the keeper to keep the game 0-0 when you have that many shots? You can't possibly create so much and not finish. What the fuck is going on with this team? Alright, Mark Clattenburg, you can say whatever you want. He had a shit game. Let's see. Mourinho was sent off. Whatever. Hinder Herrera was sent off. He was an idiot for what he did. He didn't give any penalties. Honestly, I didn't really see any that were actually penalty worthy. The only foul that did happen that was an actual foul was on Darmian, and that was outside the box. So it would have been a free kick. No complaints there. So really, he had a shit game from just controlling the game. Everything, let's see, Flanagan late on should have gotten a red card. He blatantly stuck out his arm to get the handball with a cross that was coming into the box. He was already booked, so he should have been sent off as well. So fuck Clattenburg for not giving him the red card there. But other than that, I'm not going to complain too much. Now, my biggest complaints are with the players themselves. Like, what the fuck is going on? Okay, listen, Zlatan, I love you. I was super happy that you came to the club. I was really excited about you being in there, especially after the first few games. Basically, every shot that he took ended up being in a goal. I think he had, 6 goals in his first 5 or 6 games? I mean, come on. That's amazing. But right now, he's probably missed, his last 40 shots, I think it is? Something around there. And sure, he is linking up well in play, but he has to be finishing his chances. He did it against Manchester City the other day. He missed quite a few easy ones. He missed one super easy one with 2 minutes left here tonight. It's an atrocious time for him. And listen, I'm all for giving him game time and all that stuff. But against Burnley, when you know that he's in such bad form, and that you can tell that lately he's been off the pace. He just doesn't have the energy anymore. He's 35 years old, I think. 34, 35. He needs to be resting in between games, especially against these lower level opposition, especially when he can't score a goal in any of the games previous to this. 10 games in a row without a goal, something like that. He needs to rest. When you have Martial, you have Rashford, you have these young players that are playing out of position, and you have a chance against a shit team like Burnley. Not a shit team, no offense to Burnley, they did very well. But against a team like Burnley who have no business even competing with us, you can play Rashford and Martial up front, and maybe give Mkhitaryan a chance. Give Depay some game time. And let Zlatan rest. He's 35. He can't be doing everything on his own. Even if his ego tells him that he can still do it, he's still 35, okay? Age, sure, age is just a number. But still, he's not young anymore, you know what I mean? He doesn't have the ability to just completely play games non-stop, game after game. He played, last weekend on, I think it was a Sunday or a Saturday. He played Wednesday against Manchester City. He played in the Europa League a week before that. He's just playing every game, and he simply can't do it anymore. His finishing is showing it. Give him a goddamn game's rest, all right? I can't take it anymore. How do you have so many shots and not finish shit against Burnley, who, once again, with all due respect, are not on our level? You have to finish chances. Keepers can only do so much. Manchester City beat West Brom 4-0. They did their job. What happened? They scored 4 goals. How? Through just being cynical, being clinical. That's what you have to do. You have to take your chances. I'm pretty goddamn sure I was watching both games at the same time. I was watching United 100%, City every once in a while. And there's no way in hell that City had that many chances. And yet they finished off with 4 goals. You know what I mean? Against just as much of a defensive team in West Brom. I mean, you really think that if Manchester City had that same performance against Burnley, they would have finished with 0 goals? There was no way in fucking hell they would have finished with 0 goals. They would have absolutely destroyed them. They would have finished with, 5 or 6 at least, because they're just more clinical. They have more confidence. Guess what? Manchester is not red. If you actually believe that Manchester is red right now after winning the derby, then you're stupid. I'm sorry, you're just plain stupid, alright? I'm a United fan, have been for as long as I can remember. I spend tons of money to go to Old Trafford as often as I can, which is once a year, because it costs quite a bit, and yet I still go. I watch every game. I'm probably not the biggest fan. I'm definitely not going to say that. I'm not. Compared to how passionate some of these people are, I'm definitely not at that level. But still, you know what I mean? It pains me to say that there's no way in hell that United are the better Manchester team. There's just no fucking way. All right? We won the derby. Fine. City didn't have their best team on there. Let's just be realistic about that. And at the end of the day, we are 8 points behind City in the one thing that matters, which is the Premier League. Who gives a fuck about the EFL Cup or the Carling Cup, whatever the fuck it is, the Capital One Cup? Nobody gives a shit about that. Nobody cares. The Premier League is what matters. And the fact is, we are 8 points behind the leaders in the Premier League. Guess what? There's very, very little chance that we're going to be keeping up with them. And at this rate, we're probably going to keep dropping points. And who the fuck knows? We might even end up out of the Champions League spots once again. Jose Mourinho, he's by far the better manager between him, David Moyes, and Van Gaal. But guess what? He has less points than David Moyes did at this stage of their seasons. I mean, what the fuck is going on with this club right now? We are so much better than them, than Burnley, and so many of these other clubs, like Stoke City last time we played at home as well. We drew against them as well. I mean, what the fuck is going on? This is unacceptable. Something has to change. You can't keep playing Rashford out of his position. You can't keep playing Martial out of his position. You can't play Lingard out on the right instead of Mkhitaryan. Fine, Mkhitaryan had a shit game against Manchester City, but does he not deserve a second chance? Does he not deserve a second chance? Fellaini comes in nonstop. Fellaini doesn't do jack fucking shit! You fucking hear me? He doesn't do jack shit, and yet he constantly plays. He constantly gets second chances. He hasn't done shit ever since he came to our club. He's fucking shit, okay? Get that in your fucking head. He's shit. He's shit, alright? That's the end of story. Mkhitaryan, he's a great player. Sure, he had one bad game, but he needs to find himself a home at Manchester United, and before he can actually start performing. If he doesn't play, how the fuck is he supposed to get into that mindset where he's a United player? He can't. Okay? He can't. Until he starts getting game time, he's going to be, he's not going to be the player that we know he can be. And I mean, it's just, I don't understand what the fuck is going on. Honestly. I'm not the kind of person that wants to go on here and just talk shit about players nonstop, especially our players. You know what I mean? I don't want to be talking shit about them. But after seeing a game like this, we're fine. United played very well. We played very well. Make no mistake about it. We dominated the game completely. The stats prove it. And just watching the game, there's absolutely nothing Burnley did other than 2 or 3 counterattacks that were even remotely dangerous to us. But you have to finish these chances. A team that wants to be considered the best team in the world has to finish those chances. You think Real Madrid wouldn't have finished those chances? Real Madrid would have been out of sight, 10 minutes into the game? Barcelona would have done even more fucking damage than Real Madrid. Bayern Munich, same thing. All these teams would have done so much more. And we have to be doing that much more if we want to get back to being one of the best clubs in the world. Because right now, guess what? We're lucky if we're in the top 30. Maybe that's exaggerated, but we're lucky if we're in the top 25, 20 teams in the world right now. Because we don't have what it takes to, take our chances regularly. It's embarrassing. Honestly, it's embarrassing. I live in Italy. I constantly get messages from people who don't even give a shit about the Premier League and stuff like that, who have no dog in the fight, that are constantly asking me, what the fuck is going on with you guys? How are you so shit? You know what I mean? And these are people that watch Serie A all the time, when their teams are absolute fucking dog shit. There's one good team in that league. All the rest of them are straight up shit. And I get talked shit about because of how shit United are right now. This is embarrassing. It hurts me to see United this bad. I never do these rant videos. I've done one of these in the past, 3 years? Well, no, over the past time that I've been doing it. So past 2 seasons. This is the second season. But that's the point, I don't do these types of things. I keep myself calm. But after seeing a game like this, I can't take it anymore. Honestly, I can't take it anymore. You know what I mean? It's just hard to see this type of shit, knowing how much more we should be doing, how much the team spends, how much the fans spend to follow the team, how much this club should be doing better right now. It's hard to see them this bad. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of the positives, okay? There's definitely positives. Now, first of all, the team played very well. Up until Herrera got a red card, there was only one team playing, and that was us. Herrera is by far the heart of our team, and if there was ever any doubt from anybody how important he is to our team, it was completely shattered. That doubt was completely shattered once he got a red card. Because as soon as Herrera was taken off, there was pretty much no team. You know what I mean? It was all just individual players. Maybe Pogba was linking up with Ibrahimovic a bit, but that's all we had. You know, there was no actual teamwork. There wasn't the kind of build-up there was when Herrera was there. He's the heart and soul of this Manchester United team. Without him, we pretty much have no driving force. We have no enthusiasm. We have no hunger. Most importantly, we have no grit to our team. That's what he brings. I mean, he's such a small Spanish player, but he is by far the player that has the most fucking balls on our team. Without him, we're in deep shit in the next game. Now, when he was on there was definitely a lot to be happy about. We were dominating, and we looked like we should have been getting goal after goal after goal, and we should have. The problem is the finishing. And oops, I know I keep talking about that and going back to that, but it's just so hard for me to understand how a player like Ibrahimovic and Martial and Rashford, Martial didn't play, so no problem with him, but how these kind of players can continue to not finish shots, you know? And fine, we hit the post twice, we were just very unlucky, but how the fuck are you letting the keeper have such a great game, you know what I mean? Great finishers put the ball away. The keeper can get 5 or 6 great saves, but he can't get like 10 or 15. I mean, come on. What the fuck are we doing here? Ibra, listen, bro. All right, you were in Paris. Ligue 1, let's just be honest with you. Let's just be completely honest right now. Ligue 1 is absolute dog shit. You know what I mean? Fine. Mario Balotelli went over there and is scoring goals left and right. Mario Balotelli scored, 5 goals in the past 4 or 5 seasons in total? I mean, come on. You know, much love to Zlatan. He's probably my favorite player on the team. He's been one of my top 5 favorite players for just about ever. But right now, something has to change. He needs to be benched. He needs to take a break. Maybe get that fire back in him because he doesn't seem like he has it. Let him get some energy back in those legs. Let Martial prove his worth in his actual position. Or let Rashford show his worth in his actual position and see what they can do. And that's pretty much it. You know, like I said, negatives, the finishing. Positives, Herrera, the team creating a lot of chances. It's hard right now. I have a very clouded brain right now, to be honest with you. There's a lot of rage. There's enthusiasm because of how we played. Then you look at the table and you look how far back we are and how pretty much the title race is over for us unless somehow everybody ahead of us, the 6 teams, 7 teams that are actually competing for the title ahead of us, start completely collapsing at the same time. Then we are pretty much out of the title race. Right now, I'll say we'll probably be lucky if we finish in the Champions League. If we keep playing like this, well, as long as our finish improves, then we'll be fine, at least Champions League-wise, but there's just no way we're winning the title, honestly. I predict us to win the title after seeing the first 10 games of the seasons, and yes, it is early doors. I don't see how Mourinho is going to be able to turn this around in time by January to where we'll be able to actually win something. Yeah, so I'm just going to end the rant here. Basically, you know, if United would have just been able to put away 1, I would have been perfectly happy. I would have complained about the finishing, but I wouldn't have been anywhere near this pissed off. It's just, you know, the title race for us is almost over, honestly. I just don't see how we're possibly going to be winning the title, and that's it for the video. So if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, check out the gaming channel. There's a lot of FIFA videos coming out soon enough, and I'll probably do a Premier League recap. I'm gonna start doing a lot more Premier League content coming up. Even though it pisses me off just about every single week. I guess that's probably more fun for the viewers anyway.